Die lewe maak nie altyd sens nie. Daar's nie altyd kos in die spens nie. Geen beheer, geen pretensie. Vandag se gas is Refentse.
We're gonna be prating. We're gonna be prating. We're gonna be prating. We're gonna be prating.
Die lekkernis is niet te veel. Die lekkernis is niet te veel. Dus te veel.
Nou, lekker.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, my bro. Ek like dat ons match vandag. I just want to go on record and say this was spontaneous.
Ja,
Ek voel 'n linkie, boy.
totally unplanned.
100%. It
And-
just happened.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So we are already feeling in sync.
Exactly.
And now we can just dive into the kakgrootness because we don't even have to build.
Head first, boy.
Let me ask you. Wat sou jy sê is die grootste misconception wat mense van jou het?
Wel, ek dink daar is 'n conception daar buite dat ek half gimmicky kind of artist is, omdat ek Afrikaans praat en Afrikaans sing. It could be seen as like a kind of a gimmick om CD's te verkoop, but ultimately vir my, ek skryf musiek in Afrikaans because I think and I feel and I experience most of my life in Afrikaans. Therefore, druk ek myself die beste uit in Afrikaans. If there was any misconception, it would be that, in dat ek aangeneem is deur 'n wit familie van pofvader, which is also not true.
Dit was my tweede vraag. Vertel my van jou familie in Pofadder. Ja, dude, jou Afrikaans is beter as myne. It's quite saver, but I can hear you also, you're gooing some mengels
I
in.
praat, man. I praat as well.
You are prating, en wat se taal dink jy?
Meeste van die tyd in Afrikaans of Engels of Sesotho, which is a bit of a grammar fuck up, surely. Baie keer dink ek iets in Afrikaans and I just say it directly in English the way I would say it in Afrikaans. So I think I'm an original prater.
You truly are an original prater. And
I was born this way.
There we go. Voor die einde van hierdie episode, we should do a sin in mengels
100%.
that includes 3 tale.
That would be bad. That's the next level, isn't it, boy?
But we can work together on constructing the sin.
I like that.
Yes, gryping there for the
Gryp 'n
bors
bietjie,
of
ja,
gryp
boy.
for the bode.
Come here, come here. Yes, boy. Gesondheid.
Gesondheid.
Asai ding.
Nou voel ek lekker.
H2 oor, my vriend.
H2O.
Dis
Is dit nie, dis nou 'n song nie, nee.
In der waarheid.
H2O.
Yes.
H2O.
Oh, die
Gaan oor 'n-
vocals, boy.
Oor 'n
Shit.
girl se 2 oë.
H2 oor, my vriend.
Ja.
Oh, I never knew. I thought it had something to do with water. Dis nogal actually 'n cool perspektief.
Ja.
As jy daar vir die ontleding, toe dat die lecture gehou het, of hoe
Nee,
het jy
ek het
geweet?
dit, I don't know how, but I clicked at one point and I was like, yes, it's a never like,
Hey, boy. That's
Yeah.
some deepness there.
yes, you make me feel very lekker when you're like, yeah, my boy, hey boy.
You know, boy. Yeah, that's the way. In my hood, that's how we truest one another, you know? The struggle of being a man is hard, so we must truest the boys.
Let's
all the
talk
time,
about
boy.
the struggle of being a man.
Yeah, boy. I was having a conversation the other day with a chica.
With a chica.
Yeah, boy.
That for the kijker by die huis.
Yeah.
What is a chica?
So that is now a potential mate that I had identified with my radar.
Yes, I get you.
And when I saw her, I decided I'm going to step over and make a geselsie with her, with attempts to maybe, form a connection. And first thing she tells me is that she wants a man to love her for herself. I'm like, okay, I understand. It sounds romantic at first, but what a fucking stupid notion.
Talk to me.
All men are only loved for the value we offer the community, and rightfully so. Why should we just love you for being you? I think the only person who's ever really promised that to anyone, unconditional love now I mean, I think that might be the Most High, no one else. So yeah, man, we have to struggle with a lot of things out here, especially in the huidige dating game, you know? These people want to be loved for themselves. What a ridiculous notion.
Yeah, how
just
dare
for
you?
being arrogant. But yeah, sorry boy, I get passionate about these
Yes,
things.
see, I like the passion.
Aish, sorry boy.
Yo, we are gonna delve more into this.
Let's go.
Let's go. And you were saying the Most High, which led my gedagtes to thinking, do you ever get high? Ek dink daar's mense daar buite wat sê, ja, ek wil 'n Refentse, if jy ever klap sy ou zaap.
It happens from time to time. Ek is 'n voorstander van 'n ou zaap so nou en dan, in the comfort of my home and the presence of my friends and family. Yeah, I like to share in some herbing,
Okay.
illumination, flight to
To deep space,
Zion.
to Zion, Zablion.
You know what I mean?
Set your
Conquering
eyes
lion
to
of the
Zion.
leading tribe of Judah, elector of himself, the mighty and thunder of Exhibier, Remawi Rastafari Madonna Lagam, Jerusalem Negust Nagast, Ja Rastafari, Selassie I.
Damn, dude, ek het daai sample. Ek wil er nog
I'll have
altyd
Nas take me downstairs quickly afterwards.
dude, daai is ek het so
I gave myself away now. I was trying to keep it nonchalant, but now
No,
everybody
you were
knows
like,
I'm a
no,
stoner.
you are not just occasionally swangers op. Jy is kalk, Irie. I think you're gonna drop a reggae album pretty soon.
Might be possible. I think we might find some nice integration between reggae and Afrikaans Boere musiek. I'm so obsessed with finding connections between Boere musiek and other cultures. Such fun,
Dude, imagine daai crossover.
right?
Boere musiek reggae. Yes, see.
Imagine the breaks. Oh yeah, it would be beautiful. Mas gesels with the Boere musiek gilde for permission, unfortunately.
Is al gilde
Ek dink daar's 'n gilde,
wat
my
boere
vriend.
musiek.
Ja, wat nou heers oor die heelal van boere musiek. En die ou sal mos nou natuurlik moet aansoek doen by so 'n organisation. Maak
Ja,
dit klaar,
hoekom is
bandnaam alles.
Ja, wat is die bandnaam of
Die
verleed nie?
Noord-Kalahari Dassies. In die winter is ons 'n duikspan vir die wat belangstel.
Noord-Kalahari Dassies.
Boere musiekorkes. Yeah boy. All black boere musiekorkes for the
Old
groove.
Black Boere musiek
for the
orkes.
groove. Hy nou pyn.
Ek love it. Ek love it.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you about that later when it's closer to project. I'll call you up for a song. I like the rap.
Dude, I will channel Zaab Lion in that, which I'm trying to get in touch now with Zaab Lion.
Yeah.
Like it's 50, it's like 2 parts gospel,
Yeah.
2 parts Zaab,
Oh, yes.
2 parts reggae Lion.
Oh yes, sir.
Wat is jou definisie van 'n Afrikaner?
Ek sou sê Afrikaner is 'n persoon wat identifiseer met die Afrikaanse kultuur, menende die Afrikaanse manier van goeders perceive. Because you know, boy, it's all a matter of perspective, you know?
Ja.
Ja, en baie mense wag nou vir die rasdeel daarvan, but unfortunately, smart enough and free enough to believe that it has nothing to do with race.
Yeah, and I really do tend to agree with you.
I like
I think
that.
if you are smilling on a koeksuster
Exactly.
of 'n melktert,
Exactly.
you 50% there.
I mean, boy, I speel volksspele. So, I mean, come on.
I don't even know what volksspele is.
Verstaan jy wat
I
I
might even
mean, boy?
argue, jy's meer van 'n Afrikaner as ek.
'n seun van Toosius en Malherbe.
There we go. I don't know wie Malherbe is. Nee, I'm joking. Maar ek weet wie Toosius is.
Ja,
Dis
ja.
een van sy gedigte.
Ag, yes.
Lank gelede trap 'n seentjie, ligte spoortjies in die moot. Deur die jare word sy spoortjies in ons volk se lewe groot. Something blah blah blah, and at the end of that, said by Toosius.
Oh, boy. You know what it is
Beautiful.
for me? It's the delivery, boy. I've read that poem so many times, but the way you just showed it to me now, wow.
Have you read that poem?
Illuminating, yeah. Die loodpoot van die moed. Yeah, right? That's what we call it, isn't it?
Dude, I did not even know. Is dit die loodpoot
Die
van die moed?
loodpoot van die moed, ja.
So wat
Dis die ou wat altyd die races gewen het in Voortrekkerstraat op Sondag.
is insane.
Ja, en
So,
K1 gery.
Hoe ek dit verstaan het is Laerskool Toosjesdal se skoollied.
Ja.
Took those few lines van Toosjes and then like integrated it into the skoollied.
Ja, which is quite beautiful, I think.
Yes, en toe het ek 20 of maybe so klein bietjie meer jare na laerskool in die song Moed tot Amerika die skoollied weer geïntegrate in daai lyrics.
Ja.
So Toosjes is still somehow his digkuns is leefing voort
Exactly.
in the age of musiek en mengels.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest honor about what we get to do and what our talent is that maybe you can create something that will outlive you. Isn't that an exciting thought, boy? Especially if it's positive. You know?
Exactly. En wat drive jou? Is dit daai ding van you want to create something that outlives you? And in that sense voel dit of mens effens 'n langer jy outleef amper jouself of jou kuns? Or is it just the sheer joy of making music? Of is it die geld?
Hey, boy, the bucks, ne?
The bucks, hey. There we have it, ladies and
no.
gentlemen. The bucks.
It's not the bucks, guys, I promise. I think that would be an integration of all of those things you mentioned. First and foremost is musiek obviously a personally joyful ding vir my om in deel te neem and to share that with other people. And all of us like mos aandag. So it's nice to stand on a stage there and get some aandag. Very enjoyable. Also, I'd say versoening in many ways. Because we get to take a bus loaded full of 5 black guys go into the most Afrikaans towns in the country and we bring the fucking house down.
Dis funny, for a while I played drums for Tumi Molekane. Boitumelo Molekane.
Yes.
And he used to take me, and I was his, I don't know what the word is.
Yeah.
He's white drummer.
Yeah,
and he would
his
take me
token
to,
white friend.
Yes. And he would take me to Rawsonville,
Yeah.
and Soweto, and all these places. And it was for me, it was truly like awesome, but also eye-opening, and just like, you know, seeing that I think it is a way of marrying culture,
Very
making
much
them
so.
hou hande vas.
Exactly. And I think there's a lot to learn from one another, you know? Growing up on the border of 2 different cultures, I learned very quickly that meeste van die goed wat ons separate is die domste goed op aarde wat ons nooit eers even aan dink nie. Byvoorbeeld, I'd go home and now because I'm mingling with my Afrikaans friends at school, jy weet, dan raak ek bietjie culturally influenced. So now when I'm at home, dan praat ek ook beskeie, ek soms net hier langs jou, you know, and there's no need for the other person at the end of the table to hear what I'm talking about. And dan raak almal pissig om my, you know, because like, why are you talking and we can't hear what you're saying? That's a bit fucked up. And
Like fluister.
yeah, inconsiderate, you know?
Yeah.
And that's cultural. But then I'd go back to school and I'd start speaking loudly again and everybody's like, no, bro, beskeie. Ons is net hier. So you can imagine 2 black guys and 2 white guys at McDonald's pissing each other off in the line, not even knowing what it's about. And I'm just sitting there on the border thinking, you're stupid. Let's hou hande vas. We're going to be so smart.
Mense, it's really that
Promise.
simple.
Simple as that. The rest is an illusion. Die ware illusie is jou afstand van die epicentrum van die saak.
Wat? Die ware illusie is jou afstand van die...
Van die epicentrum van die saak.
En wat is die saak?
Dit is nou die ding. Die saak verander. So if I take this lighter and me and you on
Dit moet relax, nie Zawie man.
If we were walking down the street and I'm throwing this up and down, in my perception, sorry camera, did you get that?
Get that in 4K.
In my perception, yes boy, you gotta be caught in 4K. Otherwise, did it even happen? My perspective would tell me the lighter is going up and down, which is true, and we can agree about that. Until you start walking a bit slower than me, then you'll see the lighter going up, forward and down because we're walking. Otherwise, it would fall in behind us. And the sun sees the lighter going up, vorentoe and down and around the sun as the earth is ventilating. You know what I mean? And all of those perspectives are waar. The only real illusion is how far are you from the matter? Hoe ver is jy van wat actually gebeur? And the further you go, the more your perspective will be diluted. En dis hoekom die mense fight the whole time. Such simplicity.
Dude, you have got it fucking figured out.
Hey
right?
boy, you know those late night conversations with the Zab sorting out the world's problems?
There we go. That is profound.
Unless
fucking
that's
insight.
also an illusion. I might think I have it figured out. But now that you agree with me, I think, I'm feeling confident.
When you figure out that perspective truly exists,
Yeah,
then it shatters a lot of illusions.
very much so.
Yeah. Your youth, like growing up, what was it like? Did you like school?
I had quite a sheltered hood life growing up. So I was born in Sebokeng in Everton. When I was, I think, 4 years old. So my grandmother had been working at an Afrikaans school for like years and years. And as a sign of loyalty to her, they wanted to put one of her grandkids through school for free.
Yes.
And she chose me. And then I moved literally from the hood at 4 or 5 years old to a farm in Meyerton, where all my maatjies were all of a sudden Afrikaans. I always say to people, it was actually so scary to be in the school because I hadn't even seen actual white people in real life yet, only on TV. And all of a sudden I'm cast into this school where I'm one of 3 black kids at the very most. But we learned, and that's where kind of I fell in love with the language and music in the language. But yeah, I had a pretty normal growing up, a pretty normal life growing up, very sheltered, good parents, good family. I wasn't a big fan of the academic part of school.
Yeah.
But I did try,
Yeah.
just to get my punte so I can get done with the whole fucking story.
Yeah,
so I can get on the
understand,
road, boy. The road
understand.
was calling me.
Yes.
Yeah, but I most of the time I enjoyed the extracurriculars. You know, the playing klavier by the prysuitdeling, so that you're super cool for the next 2 months. Daai hele ding,
Yes.
yeah. I had a good time. I also played rugby for the numbers and
Yeah.
also, almost for speed. So in my matric year, I'm supposed to be studying. I'm chilling outside, jamming a couple of songs. A random lady passes. She's going to a community meeting. She's like, bro, I like the songs you're playing. Let me take a video. I want to post it on my Facebook. I'm like, cool, hierdie tannie gaan probably 4-5 mense op Facebook. No problems. Video went viral. I started getting gigs. Oh boy, the first time I played a song and I could translate my emotions and my experiences through song and through words. And even though the songs weren't original at the time, I had original connections with them. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I could really serve and I could really see it changing people and at least ministering to people for a
Yeah.
while. And that's where I really fell in love with live music
Yes.
and what it means to actually create music. And yeah, from there on forth, they couldn't even keep me in the school anymore for much longer. So yeah, toe begin ek maar gigs so intussen die skoolwerk deur. And when I finished, I called Sodi. I was like, okay guys, are you ready? I'm coming.
Are
I'm
you
on my
ready?
way.
Dude, this
I'm 18 now, I'm allowed to sign. Let's go.
That's beautiful. That is such a cool story.
Yeah, it's
En
insane.
Dink jy die music industry, is it a healthy place to live in and to make a living in? Or are there a lot of pitfalls in that wêreld?
I'm always very careful when I try and think about other wêrelde because I haven't necessarily been in them. It's very seldom that people, or not seldom, it's actually very common that people find out too late that the very same thing they spent their life chasing is the thing that ended up destroying them. So for me, I think relative to where I'm standing, my part and my role in this is still feeling quite healthy.
Yes.
Obviously, there are pitfalls everywhere, but relative to what all the other industries are living in and what they are having to go through, I think we're okay, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, we like to claw when we are among each other and claw about this and that and all the politics and whatnot. And it's nice because it's comforting. You
Yes,
remember, we
exactly.
must through us the bruises all the time.
Yeah. So no
but-
aunt, I saw you and you're like, listen, I hope you brought your own sound engineer
Exactly.
because it's a cock show out
We're
there.
just less to complain. But to be honest, we had the honor to minister to people and it worked.
Yeah.
It's just our egos that are hurt that it didn't happen the way we exactly wanted it to happen. And sometimes it's bad because obviously we put in a lot of work into practicing these shows and synchronizing the band. And
Yes.
it's a really hard thing to do. So the fact that one person can destroy that whole thing can be irritating, but we must stop to class so much, man.
And often that one person destroying it is you yourself.
Yes.
Moes jy al have you had to climb against or fight against your own ego? I
Yeah.
mean, hier's jy going viral, clearly very talented, and now is jy catapulted in this like
Yeah.
whole other industry.
I think that was the hardest thing for me to do at first. Want jy weet, as jy jonk is, the character is still wobbly and your roots are not secure yet.
Yeah.
Because you want us to think you're smarter than how you were taught at home at first. Then you start to go experiment. Then you come back and you become a proper person again. That's the cycle.
That is the cycle. Someone can tell you the shortcut, like, listen, cut all that cock out. Don't do it. Trust me. I've done
Exactly.
it. Just trust me. You're going to save time.
Yeah.
And you will even know
Yeah.
that is the truth.
Very
But
much
the
so.
only way is if
To go
you have the
see for
experience
yourself.
for yourself.
I had a conversation, I'm going to finish now, but I had a
Yes.
conversation yesterday with a friend about, he raised a Bible scripture that was speaking about honoring your mother and your father and your days will be increased. And the second he said that, I'm like, oh, I don't think they mean there's like a board of gods sitting up there watching every move you make and they'll give you a day or decrease one depending on what you
Yeah.
did for the day. I think it means it's a matter of self-preservation. If you listen to those people who have been there and you don't have to do it yourself, of course life will become longer because the body will be more preserved.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to tie back into what your original question was, the hardest thing for me was to keep character while all of a sudden 500 people every night are telling you how amazing you are, and the lichte and the smoke and those things can confuse a teenager, you know.
Of course.
You might start to believe them, then you're screwed.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was the hardest thing for me to do, to keep character in all of this, the romance of the flash. Yeah,
And there is romance in it.
very much.
And die weird ding is, but there's also the reality, the agter die gordyn.
Yes, boy. Every day when I picked up those amps and speakers and I'm drawing them to stage
And
and
then driving 6 hours,
to play for 20 minutes.
not sleeping.
Yes.
And then...
Yes.
So
Yeah.
daar is ook 'n misconception of like, that it's the easiest, most glamorous job in the
No.
world. Want mense sien net die 45 minutes that you're on the verhoog.
Yeah.
It's like now, people might be taking this. They don't know that we were hailing before this.
Exactly, yeah.
My croissant het geval. Like nou op die vloer. Toe moes ek reënboogperd croissant eet. And
Absolutely.
that made him sad, and I had to live with, a couple of seconds of guilt because of that.
man.
They don't understand how tough
It's really
it is
hard.
to do this. Soek jy pies op?
I'm thinking, yeah, man. I'm thinking.
Is it that
I'm
kind of
feeling like
time?
a
I don't know. We have a selection here. There's some half groen, half geel. I don't know
I
what
like
kind
this
of.
half heel vibe. This
This
one's
one.
gonna
Look
work
at this
for me.
one. I feel
Shoo,
like
boy.
whenever we get
Cheers, boy. Peace
you
and
know,
cheers.
pisang, like whenever we get to the stage in the conversation where pisang gets breek los,
Yeah.
then we dive into some.
Is it? Is this
Yeah,
now
yeah.
where we really open up?
Yeah, we open up. You see, like I open up a
symbolism,
pisang.
such
we open
beauty.
up. Sorry, let's just get a pisang.
Such beauty.
En weet jy eendag vir my gesê Jack Daniels brew soos mushy piesangs. Not true.
I don't hear it, Mom. Ek dink Jack Daniels brew soos maybe more.
Brew soos more.
Yeah, more definitely. But also it could taste like mommy issues and unresolved verwerping.
Heerlik, that is big facts. Jack Daniels, sorry that you can no longer sponsor this episode. Yeah, export. But do you think we spend our adult lives discovering in various stages and working through the traumas of our verlede?
Very much so. I think that's why we see this huge mass of people living in absolute apathy, because it's really hard to go into yourself and address those things, you know?
Yeah.
So some people choose to kind of just sleep through life and not feel it because it's much easier. And that's why we have all of the substances to help with that.
Yeah.
Mind-altering substances to help us not feel.
Including the ones you get from the apteek.
Exactly, especially those ones,
Ja.
the legal ones,
Die regte
and morally
drugs.
correct. Yeah, exactly.
Ja, die drugs wat die government aan jou
Oh, the
verkoop.
biggest cartels in the world.
Ja.
I mean, yeah, and I think, unfortunately, as a result of that, van die grootste goed, van die gruwelikste goed wat mense nog ooit gedoen het in geskiedenis, was not because of hatred necessarily, was because of apathy. And not thinking about like your neighbor and how that would influence your neighbor.
Yeah.
Absolutely sleeping through life, living for yourself, missing the interconnection that we all share.
But why do you think some people have iets wat hulle, they wake up to the fact that they need to delve into themselves, get to know themselves, and for other people that just simply just doesn't happen?
That still confuses me till today. I don't know. I have no idea as to why that happens. I thought maybe it has to do with if you're an artist, you need to say what's in your heart. And if your heart is not healthy, you won't speak about it. So you'll be skryfing the lies the whole time.
Yes.
And I want to be a good writer like John Henry. You know, I want to be someone who speaks from within. And I won't be able to be speaking from within if it's dirty in here. I'll have to run around corners about things that I feel uncomfortable about.
Yeah. Then
So I think,
it requires vulnerability and
Very
honesty.
much so, yeah.
En ek wonder, like, do you feel, voel jy het al ooit vir jouself gejok?
I was a master. I am a master of it.
Maar is jy bewus van die feit dat
Ja.
jy vir jouself al gejok het of jok? Or
Definitief.
is it like complete obliviousness? Because maybe that's where the separation comes in.
Ooh.
Some people aren't aware that they are
Yeah.
lying to themselves,
That's
and
true.
the rest are also lying to themselves, but they know that that's what's happening.
That's a beautiful way to perceive it. Because, yeah, I guess that's the real difference because apathy, right? People are sleeping through life. So if you're sleeping through life, why can't we presume that you're sleeping through your own emotions as well? So
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know if you were lying to yourself. What a terrible state for a human being to be in.
Yeah,
That's real sadness, isn't it?
I think so. I
Ja.
think that this real sadness is definitely when it's rooted in a lie or
Yeah.
in a non-truth.
Yeah.
And truth can be sad, but there's always light at the end of that sadness because it's
Exactly.
gegrond in
Die
waarheid.
waarheid.
Yeah.
Super interesting thing also about waarheid is that like we sometimes lie and think we get away with it, but because waarheid is the only thing that there is, and for the only thing that's happening is that you postponing the waarheid.
Exactly.
But you can never really, no one gets away with lying.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
This is waarheid.
It's an illusion again.
Yes.
You see how these things tie into, I like how we're sorting out the world's problems.
We need to sort it out. I think I'm just trying to sort out my own problems. Nee, maar die ding is, wat jy nou gesê het van die waarheid, it is like gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity
Yeah.
is now, ons verstaan, yes, it's invisible, but it's the
Yeah.
waarheid. If I'm going to hurl this pisang over there, it's gonna fall.
Exactly.
Jy kan sê, okay, dit gaan 4 sekondes vat of 3 of 2 sekondes.
ja.
It doesn't really matter. It depends op hoe hard jy...
Exactly.
And it's the same with a lie. The groter the lie, the harder you are catapulting that lie, it might take longer for it
Yeah.
to twist back and for it to tref you with the waarheid. But it is impossible for a lie not to twist back at
Exactly.
some point
Yeah.
to its natural state,
Exactly.
which is the waarheid. So we just need to realize that
brother.
if that is the truth, if we can accept that as truth, soos wat ons gravity accept, this invisible ding,
Ja.
die waarheid versus lies, then I believe we can start to face uncomfortable truths and get rid of comfortable lies.
Can you say that one more time? Wow. We can get
We can
rid
start
of...
to face uncomfortable truths and get rid of comfortable lies.
Yeah, that's a preach.
Yes, sir.
That's a preach. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, sir. Ek kan die mense hoor klap deur die screen. It's the first time that's ever happened.
Amazing. Yeah, it hasn't happened to me before.
En die cool ding van conversations en prating is,
Yeah.
daai word gestuur. It's two people
Yeah.
prating, and then you eventually get closer to a waarheid of die waarheid.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can't do that always on our own. So mense, we must praat.
Let's praat,
We
guys.
must luister.
Let's praat.
And we mustn't leef. We mustn't be, wat het jy gesê, asleep.
Yeah, we mustn't sleep through life. We mustn't live in apathy.
No.
We must be conscious beings. Imagine how great we would be. We would unlock free energy and perpetual motion in 2 years if everybody could just flip and get together and decide that nobody's sleeping anymore.
Yeah.
And if you are sleeping, you'll be morally judged for it. Like, we have a moral obligation to society to not sleep through life. If you do it, we will judge you. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, ek moet jou 'n mal storie gou vertel, which just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Ek klim een keer in 'n Uber. And I'm kind of sitting in the back. I'm on my way to a wedding. En die Uber driver, ek sien net sy oë kyk so op. En ek sien dit net so in die spieël. Hy sê vir my, "Peach, you believe in dreams." And I'm like, "Do you mean dreams like your life dream?" And say, no, when you sleep, you believe in dreams. Actually, I think sometimes a dream means something. And I say for my, I had a dream. Now I'm like, if someone looks up at you and they go, "Peach," like someone, "Do
Exactly.
you believe in dreams?" And I put my phone down.
Immediately.
I'm like,
yeah.
I need to log into the present moment.
Exactly, yeah.
Log out of that,
Yeah,
whatever the fuck is
the
going on.
portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen to this man. And I say, I had a dream. It was a big empty road and a very nice fast car. And the man said to me, "You need to get into this car and you need to go and tell people the truth." And he said, I didn't really know what that means. And he then said, "Sure, this is actually, I don't know if I should share this whole man's story." Maar long story short, he started to say that he became an Uber driver and he would
Yeah.
tell everyone the truth, his life story.
Oh my goodness.
And it wasn't with any kind of agenda. And he said he came to a big realization that God doesn't see religion. God only sees truth. So it doesn't matter how you perceive God, or in fact, religion
Your form.
is irrelevant.
Totally.
It's
and utterly.
really
and it's
about
culture,
truth.
really.
And truth, hy het gesê, things can only hurt you and thrive in secrecy, whether it's to yourself or towards other people.
Yeah.
But truth, no matter how uncomfortable, it's like if you shine the light on something, there's no more mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
And I say, eventually we stopped. And I'm supposed to get out. Ek meen, it's a fucking troue. And I'm just sitting there talking to this guy.
Yeah.
And we're like talking about truth, and I can feel we are close to something here.
Yeah.
To say, all I want is, I told you my truth today. There was no die deel wat ek uitgelos het, because it
Yeah.
was
Quite deep.
profound. And to say, think of anything in your life that's not the truth, that's a secret. And he's like, just tell the truth to yourself or to someone.
Yo,
And dis wat hy doen, hy ry rond and he tells people the story, and
that's
he made
amazing.
such an impact on me met die, like, all there really is
is
the waarheid. And
Ja.
everything else is ons wat rondkak.
op die waarheid.
Ja.
Want ons is mos braaf genoeg. Yes. Yeah. So I think that's such a beautiful thing to say. And also that's the key to unimprisoning yourself.
Yeah.
Because when that light comes and the mystery disappears, you can actually you'll be free physically from those secrets and those geheime that we keep so comfortably hidden in our withins.
Ja,
Yeah, for that's really deep.
die solder van die gees.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love
It's
it.
funny, it's like as mense 'n kas het vol goeders where you like over the years you just druk all the kak in there.
Ja,
Like,
ja.
oh, ek het 'n 'n Kersvaderbaard gekry vir
Ja.
Kersfees, but I might use this again next year. Let me put it in there. Ja, ek het hierdie jacket, I'll wear it next winter. And eventually you don't really know what's up there anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, but it's there.
Exactly. And then how do you know what you are then still?
Yeah, because it's occupying more and more
Oh
space.
boy, we must do recon. You're right.
You must do
We
recon.
must do recon. Yeah.
We call it emotional and spiritual recon.
Exactly. Yo. Wow.
Why are we so anxious for the recon when it's about geld?
Yeah, but
we
when
are
it's about-
always delaying the emotional recon.
I don't know. And I think the geld will be our aid in our escapism to run away from the emotional recon. That's why we are slaves of this money because we have to get it all the time as to help us escape from something we could actually free ourselves from, our own prison. Imagine, ek sit met die sleutel tot my eie tronksel. Ek gaan uit in die oggende, gaan werk om geld te kry, sodat ek weer in die aande by daai tronksel te kan slaap en myself verpes.
Fuck, so has money become the middleman
Yeah.
to slavery?
Yes, sir, 100%. What is fractional reserve banking even, when you really think about it? Lies, lies, illusions.
Fuck you guys with your fractional reserve banking. What
Please.
is that? What is that?
So if you go to the bank and you finance a house, the bank gives you credit, basically.
Yeah.
So that, and the word credit itself is telling us that it's a token, it's an idea. So even if it's just the idea that the bank will pay this money, it doesn't mean the bank has the actual physical funds. So they can lend you money that they don't have.
That doesn't even
that doesn't
start.
exist. And then you must pay it back with interest, boy.
And that better be money that does exist.
Verstaan jy? That better be real money. Slavery.
And you know why? It's so funny. It's like you come into the society and you just aanvaar that. And I
Yeah.
saw an experiment which was very interesting. They put a bunch of rotte
Yeah.
in a thing and they put a little leertjie and at the bokant there would be like some sugar or sugar water.
Yeah.
And then one would jump up and or run up to get that, and then all the rotte will get a bit of a zap or a shock.
Every time it happens.
So they started preventing one another from climbing the leer because they know
Something's
bad
gonna
happens.
happen, yeah.
Then they changed the rot, swap one rot with a new one, and naturally he
Yeah.
smells the sugar and he
He wants
goes
to
up
go
the
up.
ladder, and then without a shock, everyone pulls him down.
Oh, wow.
And they swap more rats, and eventually there's not one original rot
In the
oor,
cage, yeah.
but they are maintaining
Exactly.
the system that was created, and they don't challenge it, and they don't know
And
why.
no one ever asked any questions whatsoever. We just followed it.
And it's so
and that's
simple.
what we're doing.
Klim die leer,
Klim
kry
die
die
leer.
fucking suiker.
Klim die leer, kry jou psigopaat sertifikaat aan die einde. Same
Yeah, well,
thing.
that's the other system. That's
Exactly.
like you are not going to amount to nothing
If you don't-
do
yeah.
this and this and this. All the stappe I have
lies.
volgd in this lewe that they told me, you
Yeah.
must do this and this and this
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
and this.
yeah.
Led fucking nowhere. It led nowhere.
Exactly, Mfo.
Everything that led me to places that meant something or
Yeah.
where I wanted to be or where I felt meaningful or
Yeah.
alive was not taught, was not planned, was just like, you know, there's a wêreld at play here.
Exactly. And it was the waarheid, and it was always there.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were brave enough and courageous enough to say, okay, we tried your way, guys. Now I'm doing peach. That's what changed it.
Yeah.
And that's why we honor you for. It's not because you followed the formula and eventually it worked out in a different way than you thought. It only started working when you divorced yourself from the illusions of society.
And the illusions of yourself.
Exactly.
Like, vind yourself, wake up,
Yeah. Illuminate.
get to know yourself, and you might find out that you're pretty fucking cool.
Legit bra. Yes.
Ja, get to know yourself and aanvaar what al die flaws and goed
Yeah.
also, but don't be oblivious.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then vind, where does this vleissak with a
Exactly.
seal and emosies want to go? Where's the waarheid roeping you?
Yeah.
And then go there. You don't
And
have
that's
to
that.
explain it.
No. when you try and explain it, you're going to waste a lot of time. I could remember it felt to me as though I was showing my parents, like, guys, this is my dream. Can you see it? And they couldn't. They were looking at ons glasie here, but I was actually pointing at the rekenaar, you see.
This is my dream.
Exactly, yeah. So they missed it because of perspective. And that's why it's important that if you have emotion, like I have emotion of making music for people, I have to be the leader of it. And it must only be me. It must start from my own awakening and my own transformation. Because otherwise, it will be diluted and I will fall into the rest of the mold.
And that's a process. It's an ongoing process, the awakening. It's not a glamorous process or a fun thing.
No, it's not the self-love with the candles and the foam bath and what the Instagram goals post. Not true, not true. For it's ugly self-love. And self-discovery is even worse. Really ugly stuff.
It is ugly stuff. And can you pinpoint in your mind where all those key moments in jou lewe was of awakening? You don't have to say what they were, but that means can just this awful thing of this moment of hardship or suffering has set in motion.
Yeah, a chain of events.
Yeah.
I think my first real struggle, because as I said, I grew up quite sheltered. So I was kind of like, I had my first sip of alcohol when I was 21. I had my first cigarette also when I was 21.
Do you still smoke?
I'm trying to quit now.
So I vat net daai een.
Yeah.
Don't even do it once.
Exactly. It's vat letterlik net daai een. But I had a pretty sheltered life. So I was emotionally quite, there wasn't too much deurmekaarness, if you know what I mean. But when I started as a musician and all of a sudden I became a product that has been sold to people. And obviously, if you're signed with a company, there is the matter of commercial value and selling out. We like to call it commercial value because it's more PC, just like how they call shell shock now. Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Shell shock.
Exactly. What a grotesque evasion. But selling out. And I felt conflicted with myself, because what do you want, boy? Do you want to make music for yourself that you believe in, but you can only sing it at a braai to your parents and your family? Or do you want to build influence so that you may have a platform to maybe help people to heal and be and understand and sometimes just dance? And that was the biggest turning point for me, to have to deal with the fact that I am compromising musical integrity for relatability with the masses, because that's what I actually wanted. I wanted influence so I can talk to people.
Yeah.
So that was really hard for me, because you can imagine, even though I understand the reason why I'm doing it, I'm still the one that's going to have to sing about Veil van 'n Byl when I'm 50 years old and my whole family is there at a show. You know what I mean? And that time it's not going to be as romantic as it is right now, because now I'm a young lighty and I look the part still to be talking kak like that on national space. But when you're 50, it's going to be a different story, So I had to deal with that.
Well, that's going to be your political era.
Yes.
I can just feel this. And you strike me as a very reflective person.
I am very much so, yeah.
Yeah. And who voel dit in the industry? Did you ever feel like you don't belong, of that you're being pushed into something?
Oh, yeah.
Soos wat jy nou gesê het, I was Stogie T, Boy Tomelo's token white friend.
Exactly.
Have you ever felt that way, of that enige level, anything that didn't feel right?
I think at first, definitely. I think even there's a possibility that even the people I started working with at first thought I was a gimmick as well, because they didn't know that I actually really believe in music, and I actually do believe in Afrikaans. So I think they went into it with the idea that let's milk this cow for us the couple of years that we can, and when the gimmick runs out, we'll just spit it out like the rest of the industry works. So it was hard for me to have to reconstruct my DNA afterwards and veto people with songs every now and then, bringing them closer to where I wanted. And it's still going to be a process for years to come.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was definitely a directional push and a certain element of, they created a kind of vibe where it could have been seen as gimmicky.
Yeah.
So now I'm the one stuck with fixing it and bringing it back to where I originally wanted my music to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big struggle, boy. I think for me, and it's going to be going on for a long time, as you were saying. Self-discovery is a recurring thing.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely there was a push. I think I was placed in a certain box, and because I was 18 and at home there was nothing better to do, so what was the alternative? I didn't even care about that contract. Never think
18
before I
is the,
inked.
Yeah, it's the perfect time for a label or someone that's to be like, oh,
yeah,
you are going to be in this box.
18-jarige laities, think before you ink.
Yes.
Asseblief.
No, this is a
very important one.
A big thing. Ek assume jy is nie meer met dieselfde.
Nie dieselfde termes nie.
Okay.
Now power came and I could start to make some demands.
Renegotiate.
Yes, boy. And now I'm like, okay, it's starting to make sense to me. But it took me a long time. And now I have creative freedom.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, there's still that initial DNA that I can't just like turn my back on. I'd have to bring my people over slowly, and it's a painstaking process.
Yes.
Because I have to then lie in songs, you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is
think
something
so.
I'm kind of overdoing. I'm overdoing it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Not overdoing it.
Yeah, I'm overdoing
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
Ja, want hy het 'n potato, bro. Check out of ek byt jou. That's what we're playing the game for.
Hy het ou potato.
Ja, dankbaar dat ons teachers gehad het when we were still small who could at least start to develop those minds and show us that this is possible.
Ja.
Thank God, yeah.
Ja.
What is the afkorting for how's it? Why is it that instead of saying ja lekker, we say nee lekker? If you are competing against yourself, would you come first or last? Lekker braai choppies sal nou naai. Ok. Is the S or C silent in the word sent? I wonder what time it was when the first clock was made.
Being someone what reflective is, it often means, confronting yourself, getting to know yourself. Voel jy ooit a level of anxiety in your body or in yourself?
Very much so. So I was born in a place where there's a lot of violence, but I lived there for such a short amount of time that the violence could create all these feelings of feeling unsafe within, which causes anxiety eventually. But I wasn't there long enough to grow numb to the feelings. So I kind of, I've been carrying that with me for the longest time.
When did you figure out that that's...
I think I was about 17. Because then that's the first time I really noticed that I was actually a bit more anxious than your normal human being. And obviously you can imagine how difficult that makes initial relationships with people.
Yeah.
Or initiating them, a very hard thing for me to do. So I took all of that trauma with me, but I wasn't long enough there to kind of get numb to the pain.
Yeah.
To me, it's still I still feel very unsafe a lot of places and in a lot of settings.
Yeah.
And you can imagine prating with me now after prating with me for this long while, I have some funny ideas also. So it doesn't make me an easy friends. Yeah. Some of them are good, but I think it sounds funny to the foreign ear,
Yeah.
I think a lot of anxiety, boy. But at least I know where it comes from. So
yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
That's
at least the best thing you can do for anxiety is to learn where it comes from.
Yeah.
And dan dis al mens bietjie die power because you understand it better.
Ek beloof vir
Ja.
it will change your life.
Oh,
no.
Don't worry, it's coming back.
Lovely.
Now we are sitting here in the donker. Wat dink jy? Hier's die load shedding portion van die episode. What do you think about load shedding? Should we just aanvaar it?
For I think our biggest problem is that we already unfared it.
Yo, that's true. I want to ask you a couple of quick fire vrae hier volgens our
I'm
research.
ready. Yes. Gooi my.
So it's no geheim
Yeah,
that I'm a groothond.
very much so. Die groot hond.
Oh, yeah. If you were a hond, what kind of hond would you be?
I would be a Doberman.
Yes. Let's hear that Doberman bluff.
Yo, I don't want to do it on. Am I allowed to do it on TV? It's the forbidden bluff.
I think we can allow it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very sexual thing that I
Yes,
also do
you
it in
did.
the bedroom for the ladies.
I'm not wrong. I got that
You
is that's a quite a sexual bluffy.
Very much so, yeah.
It was kleiner than I was anticipating.
No, this is the PC version. The
Virgin.
other one I can't do on a virgin, yeah. The other one I can't do here in front of the people.
Okay, I'll let it slide. What makes you sad? Wat maak jou hart seer?
Ignorance.
True.
Yeah, I think what really makes me sad is that there is bliss in ignorance, and that leads to a lot of people not seeking.
Yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
that is very true. Fuck,
Man.
these are supposed to be the light-hearted quick fire.
sorry,
Oh,
I told you. Oh
Is
man,
jy bang vir die dood?
no, not at all.
Why not at all?
Because energy, well, this is the law of thermodynamics. Energy can never be destroyed; it can only be transformed into a different form.
I keep saying that, maar then the other day I said it to someone, they're like, ach ja, maar wat van 'n fucking battery?
I think no, that's a different concept. But also, even in the battery, it doesn't mean when the battery is non-functional for what we intentionally made it to do. It doesn't have some or other function that still pertains to energy. I'm sure they do
Ek kan nog
use
steeds daai
batteries for other
battery
stuff.
in reënboogperd se gesig
Verstaan
gooi
jy?
and that energy will
It still
cause
has
some
kinetic
damage.
energy.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And some people just waiting here the whole of their lives, just waiting to die so that they can start living. So die hele dood gaan ding ook illusie.
Yeah, just another illusion.
Lies.
Yeah. Lot of lies in this world. Hey?
Yes, boy.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I think it must be. I don't want to go into the whole conspiracy theory vibe.
Please,
Because
please.
it's so flippin' exhausting. But I do think there must be some sort of control.
Yeah.
You know how this works. For influence is a very dangerous thing. I once went to a car garage to buy a car. Oh, no, actually, I went 2 years prior to that to ask them for a sponsorship when I couldn't afford a car.
Yeah.
To ask them for a sponsorship to go on my tours. They said, yeah, we'll call you back. 2 years later, I had started making the bucks and I could actually afford to buy one. So I went in to buy the car and they were like, no, man, I'm going to that office. We're going to quickly sort you out. It was a week. Then I had a fully free car to drive around with. And surely that's because they want to connotate their brand with my brand.
Yeah.
And having said that, why do we think Beyonce is allowed to have, for instance, 300 million religious followers, more than any political organization in the entire world, and we live under and operate under the illusion that she's in charge of that motion? Wouldn't it be more dangerous than nuclear power? I mean, America went into Iraq under the false claim of the possibility of weapons of mass destruction being produced in Iraq. But do you think it wouldn't be a bigger security risk for the US national security or the entire world national security if Beyonce could say whatever she wanted?
Yes, see.
So I think, yeah, that's where the lies come in. And they work in a pyramid. They go all the way to the top.
You never
and the
meet
top is red.
Never meet the king of Burger King.
No, we don't even know the names.
No.
No. And they are the people who we think are in charge. Smoke screen.
I really tend to agree with you.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, even in our country, we have people here who bring in, for instance, 25% of GDP. Then you ask yourself, who's really the president?
Yeah.
What is Ramaphosa going to say to a guy who brings in that amount of GDP? Isn't he then the real ruler? Because to bring in that kind of GDP, you must be owning the banks, you must be owning the pharmaceuticals, the food production, you must be owning the most land, and natuurlik the media.
Yeah.
There's people controlling this. I'm not a conspiracy
It's funny,
theorist, but I'm
but
saying,
it's true.
yeah.
I think if you're in music or in entertainment and you've ever had to do a press release
Exactly.
or a PR thing and you realize, like, if someone's like, says, okay, jy het hierdie nuwe album, we're going to put it out.
Yeah.
Let's show this part of the process. Let's
Yes.
show this. Mense consume it and it just feels like organic.
Exactly.
No
but
one
it's
sees what goes on
the
behind.
plotting. Yeah.
So enige massive rollout campaign, I can't help but see, I'm like, I wonder what was the PR budget on this
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What can you do with a $500 million PR budget? Can you, if someone's like, this is the level of control and influence,
Bro,
turn yourself into something within the public eye.
It's so easy to do that, especially right now because we have access to social media platforms. It makes it so much less expensive even to build that kind of influence. Like if you look at the biggest names in pop culture right now, like your Andrew Tate and your Logan Pauls and the KSIs and those guys, I don't think they spent millions into building their platforms, but their platforms are definitely much bigger than most of the biggest TV networks we have. So I think it's very easy to do it.
What do you think of that Tate guy?
Andrew Tate. So some of his ideas I agree with, especially stuff pertaining to like self-care as a man and stuff like that. But some of the more relationship stuff that he discusses are not necessarily how I perceive things. But if there's one thing I'll say is that he does seem to be a rebel. And if there's one thing I know about politics is that we had better protect the freaking rebels.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether I agree with him entirely or not. I'm just in love with the spirit of rebellion. I'm happy that it's still allowed. You know what I mean? I used to think that Steve Hofmeyr, for instance, phrases things intentionally because he's a brilliant guy. But he phrases things intentionally to get a reaction out of the masses. And I used to think that's division and separation, but it's a lie. And for Steve is a rebel, and we had better protect him. Because the second we lose the ability to be able to do that, visible slavery, and it will be too late to go back.
Yo, that's big stuff. So, there's no denying Steve is a rebel. But do you think he makes some of his livelihood off of polarization?
I wouldn't say necessarily it might be an intentional thing. I think there is some division obviously happening because it does seem to be like the fight does seem to be from Afrikaans perspective with Afrikaans struggles and Afrikaans projections over the problems that we're facing. So it does seem like it's divisionary, but I think it's good because how will a non-Afrikaner really understand the real struggles of an Afrikaner? So I wouldn't really say it's profiting off of division. I would say if there's a revolution to fight for Afrikaner struggles, I would want an Afrikaner to be the leader of that revolution.
Just see, you were prating fucking wise things here. I do feel like jy het a great political insight somewhere.
Hey, Shimfo, I'm so scared of it.
No, look, I think I wouldn't want to be in that position.
Yeah.
Mom, damn, dude. So, Steve, you rate king or clown?
King for. I've had the honor of...
For is
brother.
Yes.
In Sisulu. We're going to use it in our sentence.
That sentence is coming, Mense.
Yes,
and
yes. Is brother. Mfowethu. My
Vanweë
brother.
too.
Yes. In fact, in our languages, this is now just a quick side
Yes,
tab.
please.
So in genealogy, 33% of you is you. Then the other 33% is your mom, and 33% is your dad. And within them, the same principle counts. So in our languages, we don't address people in the singularity. It's always even when I greet you, so like say dumelang of sani bonani, and that's always in plural. I'm greeting you guys. It's more like the concept of namaste, like my soul
Yes.
honors your soul.
Yes.
So which ties down to kind of making it people intensely aware that you are the key between the past and the future. Within you is infinite knowledge and infinite beings, and you're carrying an entire bloodline with you, especially for us gents and unfortunately, the tool that we use to connect the past to the future, to literally go fetch my ancestors and reincarnate them here on real life. And that's just genealogy. I'm not talking religiously
Yes,
now.
yes.
It changes your entire life. The tool we use is also sometimes used as entertainment. So if you're a guy and I greet you as you guys, you know that you can't be using your penis or your phallus for entertainment, because that is the key between connecting the past and the future. So we always acknowledge in plurality. So mfowethu means our brother. It's not even just my brother. Yeah.
Fucking hell, what a geesperk. Dude, that is like, you've given me a lot to chew on in my
You've given me a lot
gedagtes
to
hierso.
chew on. I
love
love
it.
it. It's a good
Yes,
conversation. Yeah.
Fuck.
And as long as we have ourselves and conversations like this, we are doing well.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is very important. Vandag, I felt like what was important for me to do was also luistering. Prating seisoen 4 is just going to be called luistering.
Luistering.
I'm just going to walk in, sit in a meditative namaste position and go,
Go. Open up.
no, you got my vote. The 2000, I think you must get Kanye West energy going here and just be like, use
I'm
this
running.
right now and
I'm
say,
running.
Refentse 2033.
Yes. Running as an independent.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Damn, daar was nog so baie wat ek wil unpack, but I'm going to unpack it in my own gedagtes. What do you say is the most powerful thing in the world?
Love.
I love it when people say love
Yeah.
without even flinching.
Yeah, for love.
It is love.
Yeah, it's
Another invisible substance
very much so.
that's just like governs
Everything.
so much about our existence on this ball.
Yeah. No, love. It looks like money sometimes, but there comes a stage where money becomes so... Well, I guess people can get rich to a level where it doesn't even really matter if you make one more or lose one more dollar. But with love, there'll never be a place of... I want to say complacency.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to have so much love that it doesn't matter if you get more or less. So that must be the strongest currency if it outweighs the almighty dollar.
The almighty dollar. Staan nie 'n kans teen liefde nie.
No ways.
I will
No
quip
ways.
what I need
Yeah.
with liefde.
Amen. I'm here for that.
Love is truly, I think if you really look over the course of thousands or millions of years,
Yeah.
love is the only true currency
Yeah,
on this ball.
that's true.
And
Wow.
I think if we spend more of that, and hear more of that,
Oof.
then
Economies will boom.
yeah,
Yeah,
fuck the economy.
exactly.
We want liefde.
Down
Yeah.
with it. We want lifter, and we want free energy, and we want perpetual motion. And we want them to stop lying as well. But obviously, yeah, that's now pushing it.
That's pushing.
Yeah, yeah.
We will get perpetual motion before the lies
Definitely.
will stop. Dude, I'd love
Definitely.
it. We're going to get to our sin now.
Yeah.
Wat se tale gaan ons als in? It's going to be Afrikaans, Engels,
English, and I think let's vote for Zulu
Zulu, and then also Mengels. So
and Mengels.
the
4
whole
languages.
thing is going to be Mengels.
Exactly.
And we're going to definitely have the word mfo, which is
Mfowethu,
our
our
mfowethu,
brother.
our
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for if someone calls you that, you must know they love you. You are real to them.
Well, Mfo, am I doing it good?
Perfectly.
Our brother.
For our brother.
Our brother, ons is baie lief vir jou. Now even more so after this gesprek. And I
Dankie,
must
my
say,
dear.
you've really given me a lot of new insight.
Thank
and
you.
Very elegantly shared profound wisdom. And I'm going to support not only your musical career, but if that political career
Hey,
arrives,
boy.
I'm not even going to fra. I'm going to be like, this is
guy.
my man.
No, thanks, my brother. I must say, I've done thousands of interviews. You can tell surely over the years, and this is the first time I've really been able to even think or comprehend about speaking of things of this matter and this mass on TV, because things don't always translate well. But I feel here a certain safety for seekers. I feel a certain safety for exploring and asking questions. And I want to thank you for that. I think it's profound.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that means that beteken vir my kak baie. Because
Thank
that
you,
is
Rob.
one thing we are not, is the media.
Exactly.
We are just here to praat
Yeah.
and to luister, and it is safe to say and to think anything, because the last thing we need to stop doing is to praat and to luister and to think and to feel. And I feel like we are living in a time when hulle probeer mense bang maak
Ja.
om te praat en idees te...
Exactly.
And die issue met dit is, it doesn't kill the idea just because you're silencing it. You are radicalizing it
Exactly.
by pushing it into the shadows.
Exactly.
So talk about the uncomfortable things. Praat oor goed wat jy dink is taboo. Just be fucking honest. And then there might be an uncomfortable truth, but it's 10 times better than a fucking comfortable lie.
Exactly.
My
I think
gees-
that's my quote for the day
Praat!
from you.
Dude, got a lot of admiration and respect
Thank
and
you,
liefde
my
vir
brother.
jou. And I wanna end this met daai sin, which I want you to lead for us. My dear Mfo.
My dear
Mfowethu.
Mfowethu. Aish, before you kill me when you say that. Let's
You
say...
want to lay it down on this Kakgroot ding.
Let's lay it down.
This whole episode needs to have reverb on the...
100%. 100%. I want to sound like one of those Channel 4 newsreaders who are always on Valium. That would be legit.
Valium. I've never had Valium.
Neither have I. I don't get the whole craze. But yeah, I'm sure where I live, I can just call a tannie next door and she'll be able to hook me up.
No, the tannies are the ones.
100%.
Hulle exile mense for smoking ZAR, but the whole community is on Valium and Prozac and Zyrtec.
Imagine.
And I'm just making up names.
Xanax and all
Xanax.
four. Yes.
Anyway,
What do we want to say with this sentence? Shall we call it a summary of our thoughts today?
yes.
That's going to be a challenging one.
Samevatting of Kakgroot gedagtes for all the brothers and sisters, die Mfo.
Bafobé to dan sits without religion. Bafobé to all the brothers and sisters. I like that, yeah.
Yes.
Let's take that one, okay?
Okay, let's kap this ding uit and then I'll gooi this away again.
All right.
Graag in this. Okay.
So are you gonna say the full sentence for us? I'll do the Zulu part and then you do the Mengels and the Afrikaans.
The first, maybe not the first, but not the last sentence to be uttered in Zengels on this platform.
Oh, yes.
I feel like you should do the whole ding.
All right. So should I do the whole
you
thing?
are in the most capable position. Jy is 'n meester van Afrikaans. Engels, I mean, I did not even verwag that we are going to praat such beautiful elocution hier vandag. And in Zulu as well.
Okay, yeah, let me do it. So, die samevatting van Kakgroot idees en die acknowledgement van Abafobethu ekhaya.
The samevatting. Okay, now. That was a good
That's the one.
rehearsal. This is it. Let's break the fucking mic in the internet. Are you guys gereed? Almal, by die huis. Sit julle hande so. Because it's coming. Check. Ooh.
Kom ons bespreek die samevatting van Kakgroot idees en die acknowledgement van Abafobethu ekhaya. Hierdie is die heldendig van Gilgamesh.
You want to push that mic neer?
Wow, ja, kan ek push dit neer?
Ja, push it neer. Listen to that reverb. Echoing into the verlede, into the toekoms. This oomblik will time travel long after we go do it. If you're kicking this in the year 2078, I'm do it. But that reverb is still going.
Yes.
And the waarheid of that big facket in Engels is still glibbering and floating
Ja.
through space
And thriving.
throughout the cosmos. And the aliens have now received that boodskap. And they are coming to druk, to give you a drukkie.
Ja.
Because we all need one.
Exactly. And perpetual motion.
You're big on that one. That's your campaign
Very
slogan.
big. Yeah. World peace, perpetual motion.
For
my brother.
our brother.
Our brother. Oh, I love
Namaste. Namaste, Kakgroot. En ek sê vir jou dankie.
Dankie my vriend. It's been an honor.
Likewise.
Oeh, die lekkernis is net te veel. Dis te veel.
Lekker.
Want to partner with us on an episode of Praat with us. Now get people prating about your brand.